Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Berwick area baseball. Joining us is the head coach, Brian Pinterich. Brian, a successful year for your kids. Graduated some talent, but hey, you guys have some young men that step up each and every year. You have a couple starters that are there for a few years and some good leadership behind the plate in Jordan Stout and at the shortstop position in Anthony Melito.
Yeah, those were two guys coming into the season, John, that we were counting on to step up and have big years. But to be honest with you, right now in the season we're 13-3, and beyond kind of our wild expectations for that to happen, where we had to replace really 90% of our team from last year and all of our pitching staff except for one person who kind of spot relief for us a little bit last year. So to be in the position we're in right now, I'm really proud of the kids, and with one game remaining in the regular season, hopefully we can keep rolling in the playoffs.
Well, a young man like Anthony Melito, boy, he looks so comfortable out there at the shortstop position. Haven't seen many like him that just kind of shag balls. Just seems like it's for fun. And he just really has a control and such a, for a small guy, he controls a large area.
He does. He for his size, you don't think he has much pop in the bat or arm strength, but he kind of has it all. He'll hit one over your head at the plate, and he'll make every routine play that comes his way. But he's been doing that for 3 years now. He's played in some big games against some big teams and big time competition. But we've seen that from him for 3 years now, so it's kind of routine for us.
You see a young man like Jordan Stout, you kind of reminds you of one of those guys, the throwback guys from the 60s or 70s, huge forearms, big thighs, kind of a quiet guy when you see him, but not a guy you want to mess with.
No, you certainly don't want to mess with him. I think they found out on the football field this year, trying to tackle that young man. He is a horse, but I'll tell you, on the baseball field, the last 3 years, he's been one of the top 10 hitters in the league. Once again, he's hitting well over 350 and having another good year. And, he can really swing the bat. You would think for a kid his size that he would be stiff at the plate, but he has great bat speed. He can hit for power. He can hit for average. And he's what we call a gap-to-gap hitter. He's not just all pull. He sees the ball, and he'll try to hit it where it's pitched, and he's done a great job of that this year as well. And he hasn't had many great pitches to hit because teams now know him. But, when he has his opportunities to swing the bat, he's made the most of it.
Got to see a kid this past week against Hazleton area sophomore pitcher in Jordan D. Valerio, and I was teasing Jordan a little bit, saying, boy, everybody was talking to you. Stout was talking to you. Melito was talking to you. Your coach comes out and talks to you, and it all worked. A lot of times you get those talks and it doesn't work, but whatever you guys said to him, he calmed down. He threw the pitches that worked for him, and he gained control back. And not that he lost a whole lot, but just to kind of put him in check, and he really did a great job in finishing the job there for Berwick.
Yeah, he's had all our big starts this year, John. For a sophomore, he's a pretty good-sized kid, but he's only one of 3 kids we've ever brought up in our program as a freshman. So he knows what it's about last year. Didn't get much time as a senior last year because we had so many guys, but had a great junior varsity season. And, coming into the season, we thought we had something special with him, but he really took that next step. So I am really looking forward to seeing his development over the next 2 years, and he could be one of the next great pitchers to come out of this area like we've had so many in the past few years.
Brian Pinterich talking here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. They have locations in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, and Williamsport. Well, Brian, we go down the list, guy after guy. You got some wheels, you got some arms. Your right fielder, the Andrus kid, throws out a kid at first base from the right field position. He throws a ball just about direct to home plate on one play. Just things like that and you get a little bit out of them pitching as well. Just some good athletes.
Yeah, Zach coming into the season, we knew we had to find him a spot, but, coming up through our junior high program, he was kind of an infielder, and we thought, with his arm and, he can read a ball off the bat, we thought making him an outfielder would be his best situation, and he has really stepped up and played a great right field, and he's hitting well over 300 as well. We almost kind of switched positions with him and our third baseman, another senior, Hunter Stout. This is his first year at third base, and the boy has one error all year at third base. So making that switch with Andrus in the outfield and Stout at third base has really paid dividends for our team.
Brian, when you talk about being a complete team and the way you guys are playing some baseball, some great competition in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Valley West starts out, I think it was like 0-4. They win 6 or 7 in a row. Coughlin's kind of been there, a team that's been tough. Hazelton has some great talent in Quad A. And of course, the list goes on. There's some other teams, but you'll be battle-tested and ready to go when these AAA playoffs come up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, John, when those playoffs come out, you see the seedings, you see a number by it. That number really doesn't mean much when it comes to, district playoffs, especially what AAA has done really since 2008, since we won a state title. You go back to us and Abington Heights in 2009, and Tunkhannock made the state finals, and Abington Heights last year. So they're, once again, probably one of 8 or 9 teams, maybe 10 or 11 that could win a district championship. And if you win a district championship because you're so battle-tested from our district, you have a chance to make a heck of a run of the state title.
And, of course, everybody's dealing with the same things. I mean, you had some teams that didn't get on a field until sometime in April, and it depends on where you lived, what the field conditions were like. Everybody had factors thrown into it. But you had to kind of hit the ball running, so to speak, and coach playing a couple games in a week at times and making sure you have a lot of fresh arms. And I'm sure that'll be the story in the playoffs, making sure you have enough arms ready to go and facing teams that could be a 9 or a 13 seed that could be one of those sleepers.
Oh, there's no question. Well, you look at last year, John, I go back to last year, the Abington Heights team, they were seeded 7th in the district, and they were really 3 outs away from going to the state championship game. And, there's no question, a team that gets hot, you need a break, you need a call to go your way, and your pitching has to be outstanding. And when you talk championship baseball, the first team that flinches usually loses the game. So, you have to continue to play well, but you need some breaks to go along with it, too.
Brian, 9 years at Berwick as the head coach. It's never been about you. Every conversation we've had, you've always given accolades where it's due, which are the kids that play the game and, of course, your assistant coaches. And you got a nice group of both of those. Let's first start with the assistant coaches. You have a nice crew.
John, I'll even take it a step further than that. When I was hired, I never thought this job was really mine. I was kind of keeping the seat warm for the 2 previous coaches, Coach Gene Fink, who was here for 35 years, and Coach Bill Martz, who gave me my opportunity. So, we've only had 3 coaches in Berwick for about 60 years, and I think that plays a lot into it, about the success we've had. But my assistant coaches, I told them I was not going to apply for the job if they were not going to come with me. That's how much I think of those guys. Rich Pinterich, who's a cousin of mine, just a great baseball guy. We read each other's minds. And my old-timer, Monty Labor's been with me from the beginning. 62 years old, and I said, this guy forgot more baseball today than some people will ever know in their lifetime. And they're just great guys. They're not yes men, that they cover all angles. And we would not be a successful program without these guys. And I'm going to throw in Steve Pinterich, who was another cousin of mine, and Don Bowers. This year we put Rob Albertson on the staff, who is a center fielder on our state title team, and he's fit right in well. So, yeah, my assistants do a great job day in and day out, hard workers, and, I wouldn't do it with any other crew.
And then that senior leadership, we talked about these 2 guys, and they're going to head to the next level and likely play baseball. I know Melito's going to play at Misericordia University, great school, Division III. And, of course, Stout's going to head as well and play some baseball, maybe some football as well. Having guys like that kind of could go on to that next level and play some good quality Division III baseball is always great.
Yeah, there's no doubt, John. That started with the guys before them. It's gotten a little bit easier if these colleges now start to call me to see if we have the talent. So, when guys are successful out of your program at the next level, it gives other guys an opportunity. It's amazing how many college coaches actually come to our games now to watch to see if we have that next kid that can play at that next level. So these kids have opened the doors, for future players as well. And, we'll have 3 this year and possibly more going, but we have 3 signed right now. And that's, that's what it's all about, John. That's what really makes it satisfying to me. We've sent 25 kids off since '06, and another 3 have signed, and that makes it all worthwhile.
Brian Pinterich doing a great job at Berwick along with his assistant coaches. Of course, the young men have had a fabulous season as the playoffs get ready to get underway in District 2 AAA. Going to be a dogfight, a lot of parity, and a lot of teams that could get the job done, and Berwick is definitely one of them. Well, Coach, congratulations on a great regular season. Look forward to a fun playoff run.
Thanks, John. We appreciate it.
That's Brian Pinterich, Berwick Area Baseball, here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.